biggest struggle that I think both of our customers have is not so much the data or the devices that they're using. It's more about operationalizing the actual data that they're consuming, right? Because everyone is still siloed. You think of a big retail organization. You've got, to your point, you've got different systems that were bought at different times that don't necessarily talk to each other. Yeah. But all of our customers agree that the holy grail of where they want to get to, seamless integration, data flowing back and forth from the edge, right? Shelf edge cameras, robots, whatever the case may be, yeah. Right? Those being fed into machine learning and AI and generating a lot of those decisions that get done automatically without human intervention. Exactly. Right? I think that's where we want to get to, right?
Yeah. And I think one of the use cases, maybe it'll be the analogy to the task use case that we did on the inventory side is, if you think about Zebra's focus is very much on identification, location, and condition. So if we can understand what is it, where is it, and how is it, particularly inside the four walls. Yep. And FourKites provides a lot of that visibility outside the four walls. Exactly. And so we can understand the condition of the shelf, and we know the inventory is actually there. That's tremendously helpful for retailers to be able to deliver an available to promise. So if I'm online and I say I want to go to the store and pick up an item, and the store knows through our technology that that item is literally on the shelf, they're not guessing or estimating, then they can be quite sure they can promise that to me. But where everything is going is to look forward in the supply chain. And so if we know that there's a shipment that's going to come in 3 hours to the store, and maybe that product isn't available to promise to me, but I'm not going to come by to pick it up till 7 p.m., and there's going to be a 3 p.m. delivery because I can see that from the FourKites data, then I know it's going to be available to promise by the time I come and pick it up. And as things become more and more real time, it sounds kind of crazy that, hey, the minutes and the hours are mattering, but they are. So it's almost like being able to cheat time and saying, hey, I can look forward in time as to what is going to be available to promise. And the only way that we can do that is going beyond the shelf edge data and leveraging information from like a FourKites type system and integrating your data together with ours to be able to improve those available to promise metrics. So that's got a great ROI. It's got a revenue uplift for our customers, and it's a better experience for their customer as well.
Well, the other piece that's interesting is the minute you add automation into that mix, right? Because you guys are making some acquisitions and investments around automation, right? If you think about micro-fulfillment centers or something like that, having the ability to know exactly when that product is arriving is key, right? Because if you have the fastest moving item, Cheerios or soda or whatever the case may be, and now you have to hit the off switch on that automation, the ROI goes out the window, right? So that's key to what you guys are doing. It's key to what we're doing because now the customer can keep that automation running, which is the key, right?
It's interesting how what you're describing as more and more of this data that comes together in the digital world, it's driving velocity in the physical world. And those two things kind of feed off each other. So we are seeing the number of picks per hour that a warehouse fulfillment center needs to accomplish is more than they can do with people alone. And so bringing in autonomous mobile robots to be able to transport goods around that facility that are working in tandem with people is how they're able to hit those metrics. So there's some really cool things happening, and no end in sight, I think, in terms of the opportunity.
Well, I think the misnomer too was that automation is actually replacing jobs, and it's actually the opposite. I was in a facility a couple of weeks ago that was using robots as sort of assisted picking, right? Yeah. And the employees, when you talk to them, are much happier because they're not doing the heavy lifting, they're not doing all that sort of thing. So that so that's sort of changing the game, and it's saying, hey, I can actually retain workers better, right, by introducing automation, which actually flips that notion on its head.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing, we did some work with Korn Ferry, and I think right now globally there's roughly a 3% labor deficit overall when you kind of look across all the different work that needs to be done globally. And so it's really not about, they're really not taking jobs away. It's about augmenting the people that are there to fulfill the demand that exists. And so there is, may very well be kind of the first time in history where we're seeing the aging population combined with distribution of wealth and demand for goods result in a situation where there is actually unrealized economic output because there's not sufficient labor.
So, all right, so this is great, very exciting. I think there's a couple of other areas of opportunity for us to partner up together. I think we're here at the conference, our conference. I know you've got some things going on today as well, but I appreciate you sitting down.
Absolutely, Mark. Yeah, I think we both agree this is just the beginning of a great partnership. So more to come, more data to integrate, and better value to bring to our mutual customers. So look forward to it.
Very
Thanks.
good. Same here.